All right, here we go. Moving on into turn 6, excuse me, not turn 6, turn 7 of the Mighty Endeavor. So we got a few things we got to do here. We're gonna add Lorient. I don't know how to actually say that one. Lorient and Marseille is now operable, and then we're gonna remove Beachport 4. Which should be, I think, that should be this one, right? Yeah, that's this one here. Okay. And then reinforcements and replacements. So we got 1 U.S. headquarters going to be coming in. We'll put that in the England box. And then the, I forgot what this one was called, but it's the, it's an American and Commonwealth hybrid, so it can be used for both. It's a paratrooper unit. We can add that over there. German reinforcements coming in later. We got 2 U.S. replacement points and 1 Commonwealth. So the Commonwealth, we're gonna pump that back into Con, because the more we frustrate the Germans over here, the better. And then the Americans, we're going to put 1 here into that armor unit. The last one, I think what I'm going to want to do is put that, spend that to rebuild his under strength, the 6th armor back. Yep, and let's roll for air points now. We'll go, oh, finally a good roll. 11. That'll give us 8. Okay, we're gonna try to do a lot of attacks on this round just for that reason alone. We're gonna spend 1 to maintain air domination over here. Let's spend another for the southern air domination. There's going to be a lot of reinforcements coming in here, so I think I'm going to want to slow them down. So I'm going to spend another, I think, I'll spend certainly 1 more for, I'm going to put them in 4, or do I want to put it in 5? No, we want to put it in 4. We're going to put it in 4. Since they'll have to start there anyway, that'll slow them down pretty good, and then hopefully we'll get a decent enough roll to slow them down more in the following zones. Yeah, we'll do that. Don't think I want to do any others yet. No, not yet. Okay, and then we're going to do move on to invasion placement, which we're not going to do. I'm going to hold back on that still. Then we got the airdrop phase. I'm not quite in position to want to do something with that yet. As much as I really want to drop guys in and try to surround, like, it'd be so great if we could surround and like severely damage the SS units, but we just not quite there yet. And yeah, it's not really going to work. And I know the German players, I've already kind of thought about it a little bit. They're going to try to pull these guys back anyway. And not that the US player would know that. But because it's like just beating against a brick wall at this point, and it would be better served to get these units out and fighting with the Americans in the open country out here. But like I said, that thoughts aside, just not a good position really to drop paratroop. I mean, theoretically we could do it, you know, somewhere around here to try to grab some stuff. Maybe down here, right? It's just there's not much of a point. It doesn't provide enough of a benefit to be dropping stuff yet, so we're gonna skip that. All right, now we'll go down to movement, combat, exploitation. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do an attack HQ. Well, obviously we're gonna flip this guy. We still got another one over here, so we can do supply. I think we can do it per port. 1, 2, still have 3. Yeah, we'll flip this guy too, just to make sure that we get all American units covered. I don't foresee us using any of these Commonwealth units, so I'm not going to do anything with them. And then not going to have any attacks really over here either, so we don't need to flip the French one. We're just going to keep them moving. Yeah, all right, so I'll come back after Allied movement and combat phase. Unless there's a really cool combat I might show off. Otherwise, just going to skip straight to the end of the turn. We'll see how it goes. All right, that's all done with the Allied turn here. So we have did some attacks. We're bringing in a bunch of American infantry to help shore up the line here. So we made a combat attack in the combat phase against that stack of German mobile units that was here across the river. Damaged 2 of their panzer divisions and forced them to retreat back. I would have loved to have followed that up with an exploitation attack, but with that river there, it's just the odds aren't good, even with our superior air power. So in the exploitation movement, we moved back here to protect the HQ, and then we had circled around, surrounded, and then annihilated that German infantry division with an overrun attack. So it's the road to Bordeaux is almost open, but we're going to need more trucks to extend the supply line enough to actually do that. But for the moment, it's looking pretty good there. The French are back in supply. We brought in another truck, which is on top of the other truck, to extend our supply lines out so we can start pushing up towards Lyon, would be an objective, and hopefully back that way. Germans are going to have to divert some reinforcements down here to hold this area. We had I broke off one armor unit to possibly push for Bordeaux, but honestly, the more I'm looking at the distance with that, it's going to fall out of supply, and it's just probably not worth it. So yeah, I'm probably going to end up pulling them back and to reinforce up here, but we'll see. So that's going to be the end of the Allied turn, and we're going to go see what the Germans are going to do, and I'll be back at that end of that. Okay, so done with the German turn here. They've been moving up to make stronger infantry-based defense lines up here. They're no longer just going to be wasting time trying to crack Caen. It seems not like a good use of their time. There was a slight pullback, a slight shoring up of defenses, and a little bit of pullback here to make a better defensive line in the south, because they were pretty thin with just those single infantry units. Even in the forest, it was pretty vulnerable. They did a attack and destroyed the 35th Infantry Division. It was over here with a concentration of those armor units from before. The SS then they had swung down here on their movement, and then on their exploitation, they did an overrun attack into those 2 American armor divisions. Came very close to destroying at least one of them. But they rolled a 9, so they damaged them twice and forced them to retreat 2 hexes, so they retreated back here, but didn't destroy them, so it's not a catastrophe, it's just an annoyance, more or less. And now I think they might be a little bit vulnerable to maybe some of that airdrop idea we had. I'm going to see how I'm going to work that out next turn. That's, I think, probably the best opportunity we could have here. Then some of the stuff down here just moved into more defensive positions. Guys moved down here. We got the reinforcements moving in to try to get. We have two more divisions that are moving down here, and then more that are heading towards the front line. But there's not, other than just moving, it's not really exciting. And that'll be the end of turn 7, and we're going to be moving on to turn 8. Where things are pace is going to start picking up, especially with this mountain of German reinforcements coming. The Americans really need to start just forcing attacks, even if they're not necessarily the best odds. That's what we got to just start doing. Just use that air power. Yeah, so I'll catch you next time.